0.12, that's the actual address. Okay. We're looking at the zone. We can see what the temperature is, the set points, the demand is, and how open your damper is. Now, within each controller, you can embed a name. You can rename it. And even if you're connecting onto that specific controller for the first time, that name is saved into that controller. So if I just do a right click and get names, here we go. I've got my names which pop up. So it can be, so even if somebody else did the job and you guys are just going to service it or something like that, and you're like, what's zone number 5? Like, where is that? Well, if the guy wrote all the names, well then you can go, oh, I know it's in the conference room or something like that. Okay, so I'm going to go into one of the zones. If I want to configure it, just a double click. There we go. So we're just taking a look here. So we've got our damper right here, our supply temperature, which would be communicated from the master. In this case, I have a baseboard, I have a duct heater. Here in the middle, we can see what the zone temperature is with the heating and cooling set points. I can see what my demand, I'm demand for 100% heating. This is very cold in here. And and here we have our outputs. As you guys can see, we only see 2 outputs. So I know that this is a light card by default. All right, so if ever you want to configure any of these things, suppose I want to configure my damper. Go on your damper, and double click, brings you to a menu. Remember, this is configurable, not programmable. So here are all the different parameters which we can have for our damper. Now, if ever you're looking at these parameters and think you know what it is, but you're not quite sure, we have this little hint system which tries to help you guys out. If you guys put the mouse on the thing, we have a little pop-up, like a little yellow pop-up that comes up. So you can see what everything means. You know, so instead of having to go into the guide every time, page 578, part B. So this will give you a little hint. You can change the opening direction, clockwise, counterclockwise, kind of stuff like that. One of the interesting things is our minimum damper opening. So you can say ventilation. So basically, when my zone is satisfied, you know, we're green or within set points, I want the damper to be opened by a minimum of, in this case I put 0, so it'll stay closed. But I could put a 10%. So even if my zone is satisfied, I'm still going to keep that damper cracked open just a bit. We also have a heating minimum damper opening. Now this is because I actually have a duct heater. Here, I'll show you guys. If I double click on my output, on my duct heater, brings me to my output 5, which is my analog output. Okay. And here I have a special function. It's a duct heater. If I press off, okay, press apply. Now I don't have a duct heater anymore. My duct heater has disappeared. The graphics will adapt to the sequences that you choose. Okay. So if I go back onto my damper, my heating value has disappeared, or it's been grayed out. I can't touch it anymore. So what that means is just basically when I have a duct heater, as soon as it turns on, your damper is going to crack open to that minimum which you put in this particular spot. Likewise, if I just go back, I put it back, let's say it's not pulsed, you can change what the range is, 0 to 10, 2 to 10, 0 to 5, depending on what it is. Press apply. Now he's back again. Okay. Here I have a baseboard as well, so you can configure this as you would like. If we double click on this little thermostat right here, it brings you to the temperature configuration. So basically, you can have your set point limits, so you can lock a person in. So even if that person always cranks either the thermostat either all the way up or all the way down, like a lot of people love to do. Ed?
Are you getting paid for questions?
Here we have the basically unoccupied mode. So when it's basically on your offsets. So when you become occupied, you're going to widen those set points to try to save as much energy as possible. Okay. Let's see. Okay, if your controller is pressure independent, okay, I'll double click on my damper. Actually, I can't do this because this is a light card. Pressure independent has to be a full card. Okay. So if I go, I know that this guy's a full card. There we go. He's pressure independent because I enabled him to do so. And we also have, as we can see down here, we have our 5 outputs, so we know it's a full card. There we go. So we have our flow sensor, if we had one. Here I had also enabled the slab temperature if you had a radiant floor heating. If you double click on the flow, it brings you to pressure independent configuration. You can put your minimum CFMs, your maximum CFMs, your duct diameter, your K factor. So you can configure it like that. Okay. Have you guys got any questions?
I take it you're controlling the baseboard and the radiant as well in the floor?
Yeah. Well, and basically this is one output and this is another output. We just put it here for show. I guess normally you wouldn't have a baseboard and slab at the same time, but I put a bunch of things at the same time.
Right, but you can. You've got one for baseboard on.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. And in this case, with the 5 outputs, you know, you could choose which one is it.
And the output's got the identifications on it?
You can rename, like you have output 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I could rename him, put baseboard. I could put, I think he's my radiant floor, so I could rename him radiant floor. Just by doing a right click, and you're right there. Okay. All right. One thing which is interesting is the template feature. Suppose you've configured one zone exactly how you like it. It has a baseboard, it has a duct heater, you've got all your mins and your maxes, and all the damper setup is all done. But then you have to do that, you know, for 20 zones or something. Well, instead of going to each one and always repeating the exact same steps and so on, we have templates. So you can save as a template. You'll save it as a file. And then you can load a template, obviously. So, you know, sometimes you go, just do load, he'll say, where's the template? So you could make your own customized templates, you know, one with the baseboard, one with the duct heater, one with both, one with none of them, you know, so you don't always have to go back. And we took that step, we took this feature one step further. Once again, suppose you have 20 zones. Opening each, you know, icon, load, go get that file, do it again. Can be time consuming. You go into options, apply template to all. So you can go on VAV controllers or the thermostats, basically. So click on that. This option allows you to apply template to all VAV controllers in the system. So you can do that, say yes, go get your file, and he's going to apply that template to all your controllers, which you see on your screen. And this takes 10, 15 seconds. I've seen like 20 or 30 zones all hooked up. It's really done really quick. Okay, so let's go see the air conditioning unit. Double click. There we go. Just to give you guys an idea, so we have our outside air sensor, return, supply, our cooling coils, fan, our heating element, bypass, and pressure. So, if we want to configure anything, what do we have to do? Double click. So suppose we want to go see the fan. Double click. There we go. We're in our fan configuration.